everybody, and welcome to another edition of Great O'Clock. This evening, what we are going to be discussing will be, does your network work? The importance of the people that are part of your network and how that helps you grow your business and live a better life as well. So I want to welcome everybody that's already here, and I know there are a few other people getting ready to come in. So I guess we'll take care of the formalities of introductions. And Anthony, please introduce yourself to everybody so they can know a little bit about who's sitting over there.
Yeah, so Anthony Vaughn, owner and founder of Creation International. And pretty much what I do is I help develop cultures within network marketing teams, organizations, small, medium, and large. I do the exact same thing for entrepreneurs that are looking to have success and start companies. I believe in personal development. I think it's a driving point to success. So how are you guys doing tonight?
Awesome. And my name, obviously, is Gerald DuBose. My company is the New Wealth Order. What we do is we work with entrepreneurs to help them cultivate a winning culture and implement value-driven sales and marketing strategies to increase profitability. That is what we do. That is who we are. Welcome, Sydney. Sydney. We have some new people. We have some regulars in here. I'm excited. Let's get moving on this topic. So, go ahead, Anthony. You were about to say something.
No. I was just grinning. I was just saying hello to everyone.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the conversation tonight is going to be all about, does your network work?
Yep.
I believe that's a very valuable question, a very, very important question, actually, to talk about how the people around you affect your success, your attitude, and everything. There's that old adage that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time around. Yeah. So, so typically that's how people can gauge like what type of lifestyle you lead, what type of income you even make. Yep. So, what are your feelings on that, Anthony?
Well, bottom line, everything that you want to achieve, right, at a high level in business is going to be either through someone or with someone. So it's incredibly impactful to make sure that every single person that you're around is congruent with your highest values. Bottom line, that's my number one rule. Anyone that I'm around has to be 100% congruent to what I believe in and what I'm trying to do. And if not, that means that their decisions and my decisions are not going to be congruent. And there's going to be a little bit of a mix up when we're trying to reach a common goal. So that's one of my things. And networking strategically is very important to do so when trying to have success. So.
Absolutely. I believe that. And my man Jonathan's in here. Yes, the preacher is here. If they want to call me that, it seems like that seems to be my nickname here, but that's okay. It's a lot worse things I can be. I see Dwayne just came in the door. Welcome, Dwayne.
Yeah.
So actually, it's very important to look at the people that you are surrounding yourself with, especially in business. Those people truly do affect the level of success that you have, because the strength of your relationships determines the strength of your business, actually.
Exactly.
If you're connected to the right people, you can grow your business, you can grow exponentially. However, if you are in a very small circle, it is very challenging to grow beyond a certain phase. Mm-hmm. So we have some people that are here. I'd like to know what do you guys think? Does your network work?
I have a comment, Joe.
Okay, you got a comment. Give it to me.
A quick tip that I want to give to people, and that I realize in my life. We always talk about networking and trying to build relationships, but we don't even realize that the people that really could help us may currently be within our network right now. Now, we see, for instance, let me give you an example. My mother, directly, she may not be able to help my business, but I know my mother has relationships with people with power in the world of business. So me having a strong relationship with her and trying to figure out ways that I can contribute to those that she knows could ultimately help my business. So, kind of looking to that second layer, if you will, of people that are behind the people that are currently in your network is really important. It's a key that I kind of thought about today that I wanted to share with you guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean that's what I mean. First, you look at the people that you're currently around. Mm-hmm. It's that thing of, does this person, what does this person, who does this person know?
Exactly.
What people can they maybe introduce you to? Mm-hmm. And the thing is, though, that within your initial network, well, network, circle of influence, whichever one you want to call it. It's usually the fact of them learning and understanding what it is you really do, because the people closest to you are the ones that usually are last to get it. So
that is the key.
That is the challenge that comes in, because to them, you're always going to be Anthony. I'm just Gerald.
Exactly.
And until you see things, until they see things start to transition and to grow and to grow and to grow. And then they're like, okay, what are you really doing? I don't understand why people are paying you for this. And then, and then that's when they get kind of on board with you. So, that's why I talk about the importance of building a strong connection with people outside of your immediate circle that may know you in a business capacity. And those people will become your advocates, and they will make your family believers, because when they see other people, that's when they buy in. So absolutely, I'm with you there. Sure. And we have a question for you already. If you guys in the bullpen that are following us, if you want to ask a question, it's easier if you just type /Q.
Name for CNA. I'm not sure what you're saying, brother.
Oh, he's because he calls me the preacher, so I guess he's saying he got to give you a nickname. So
I'm not sure what it's going to be yet.
That's what we're doing. So the importance of networking, that people minimize it. People don't understand how important it is and how often they are supposed to, how often they should network, or if they network at all, because there are a lot of people that are in business that are very, very shy, that don't want to really talk about their business, and it kind of hinders them. And then they are bad when they do go to network. The first thing they do is go up to people, hey, what do you do? That's the perfect setup for, everybody that's been around business knows that you really don't care what I do. You just want to give me your business card and tell me how great your product or service is. So it's a skill that needs to be developed, and that's underutilized. It's an art to everything. And if you want your business to be respected, and if you want to be respected, there's a way that you need to approach people so that you aren't looked at as, oh, that guy again, or that girl again. You don't ever want to become that. So,
exactly.
What?
And I know a lot.
Yeah, I was getting ready to let you go.
Sorry, you there? I was going to say, I know a lot of people, look at networking as, what can I get out of this person, right? What do they have that I need? And that's the completely wrong mentality to have. And I learned that, honestly, be looking at, what can I contribute to them? Like, honestly, I give to them, whether it's advice, whether it's maybe it's a person that I have in my circle that they can use that can help their business. Now, how do you think they're going to feel about you? They're going to realize that, wow, this person truly cares about me, truly cares about my bottom line goal. They're really trying to see me be successful. And so that's 100% key. And that's what I realized. It'll work at times. And sometimes it may not work, but, attempting to, again, contribute to someone, I think is 100% key, not just trying to look at what can I get from that person.
Absolutely. See, and that goes back to what we were talking about last week about a little bit about the 10 laws and how you approach things. If you're coming at it from a place of service and caring, then people will care and want to help you. You can't just approach people and with the attitude of, okay, what can you do for me? You should genuinely have an interest in what they do, who they are, build a relationship. Let's talk a couple of times. Let's not jump. When you first meet when you first are dating, for example, you don't go up to a woman, I hope you don't, or a guy and just like, okay, I like you, let's go to bed. No, we need to have a conversation. Let's get to exactly.
We need to figure something out.
Know each other. We need to date a little bit. I mean, we got to date. We got to know something about one another before I can go. And we need to take that same approach with relationships in business, because I need to know you before I can just go tell somebody, oh, this guy does X, because I don't know what type of job you do. I don't know what type of individual you are. So before I go referring somebody and ruining my circle of influence, my network, I need to know that you are someone whose values I align with and someone that I can trust to deliver on the promises that you're going to make to those people.
Now, one thing, Gerald, that I think some of the clients that I've worked with in the startup world, how they get confused is when I say, meet with people that are or have the values that are aligned. They get that confused with meeting people that are 100% the same. You can't have a network of people that are 100% the same. So I always talk about, building a network of people that are completely different but have, similar values, right? Because if those people are different and they have strengths that you don't have, you may be able to pick up some tips from them, some tactics from them, and they can also implement, what their strengths are to your company and have success. So, going out there and networking and finding people that are completely different than you with completely different strengths than you, but your values and your bottom line goals are 100% the same. So that's exactly what I think I'm trying to say as far as
absolutely. Just because your values align don't mean that you are exactly like me. It just means we share a certain understanding and a certain want for people, a perspective on the way we feel that we relate in general to people in the world. So that's very, very, very important that people understand. It doesn't mean you're exactly the same. Because as you said, we need people that are different from us because their strengths and weaknesses are going to be different than our strengths and weaknesses, which together makes us strong. If we all match up exactly the same, then we're sharing the same weakness and we can't build and hold each other up because we're fighting the same battle, so to say.
Exactly.
So,
And I've seen that a lot in the startup world, man. I've seen a lot of people cultivate, cultures in their organizations, and everyone is very, very similar, and they're all doing very similar things. And, I always say the most impactful people and the most important people focus on the biggest problem.
Absolutely.
Right? And your job, bottom line, is what is my strength? And what can I do that's really impactful for my business that's based off of my strength? Now, if you don't have anybody else in your circle that has a strength in a different area, then again, you guys are all going to be focused on the biggest problem. You're going to solve that biggest problem, but have gaps and holes in other areas of your business. So, again, I think that's really important.
That is very important. And we have a question from Jonathan over here. He says, do you mean network with other people who are in other businesses other than yours, or just do you mean people with different skill levels? What we're referring to is people with different skill levels, different business models as well. They can be in the same industry as you and still have different skill levels than you. So that can be of help to you. You all can help one another. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Because you're strong in another area. Like if you're really, really organized and meticulous and you meet a guy who is high energy that can, if you have a question, just type /Q, and that way we can see it a little easier because it'll make a little gray box and we can follow it really easy. Thank you so much, Tish. Tish is special. See, there she is right there. Boom. So, so we're talking about both, actually, Jonathan, different business industries as well as different skill sets. And you will begin to pick that up as you network more. You will understand that this person, okay, well, this is what you're really good at, and this is what I'm really good at. Okay, well, maybe we want to do a joint venture together. Maybe we want to do a program together.
Exactly.
You want to test them out, kind of date them. Literally, that's
that your business partner is your wife or whatever you want to look at it. That's what they are. Yes, sir. Delegation. I was talking about that earlier. So I guess I can touch on that. Thank you, brother. So I always talked about, and I do this purposely. I purposely find people that I can network with that my skills are nowhere to be found in that area, and I delegate them different aspects of my business to them. And not that I'm better than them or not that I'm superior, that the fact that I really care for them and I know they're going to hit it out the park. And I trust them and they can feel that. So again, delegation is key, delegating some skills and some tasks in your business that, other people can handle at a more efficient level.
Absolutely. Yeah. You definitely want to delegate. But in the networking field, you want to know the person first. Again, well, that's what we were talking about earlier, so you want to know them, and understand what their strengths and skills are before you can even get to the delegation point. But after that, then, as you begin to build and say, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. And this is how we're going to approach it. You can handle this part. I'll handle this part. Yes. Yes. Delegation is a great strategy. It's actually mandatory because none of us can do everything.
No,
as
no.
as great as we all like to be and think and feel we are, none of us can do everything by ourselves. Anything that's ever been achieved great in this world has always been through cooperation of others. Look, and I don't like getting into religious talks because I'm already called a preacher on here, but I'll just touch on this just a little bit. Even Jesus had disciples. So if Jesus needed help, I know we all need some help.
Exactly.
So we got go ahead. Fred just came in. Hello, Fred, and hello, Robert Abrams. How are you? Okay, so go ahead.
I was doing some studying today, and I know there are some incredibly high achievers. I mean, some billionaire level type guys that they literally delegate everything else that does not, aren't congruent to their highest values. So the guy said that my highest values are studying, teaching, and business development. That's all I do every single day. And like he said, everything else, like every single task he delegated, whether it was cooking, driving, so that he could be 100% pinpoint focused on what he wanted to achieve. Now, obviously, that may not be what exactly you guys want to do, but I just thought that was pretty cool and pretty neat. And it shows you how he got to that high level because he's 100% zoned in on the most important aspects of his business.
Absolutely. And there again, talks to it about a lot of people think, and I'm going to go on this because it's a little off topic, but it's touching on exactly what you're talking about right now, is that people always tell you, your strengths and weaknesses, but work on your weaknesses some, because you can develop them. Look, we're grown. Okay. If you aren't good at organizing by the time you're 35, you are not going to be good at it by the time you're 36. Understand that you are wasting more time by spending time working on that weakness. You work on your strengths.
Exactly.
If you work on your strengths, guess what? You can become really great. Something you're good at, you can become great at. And people will pay you if you're great. Nobody wants to pay you if you're average.
And the answer to this question says, so would you say that the idea is to know your top three strengths? Definitely. Know your top three strengths. So for me, I do my top three musts. So what are the things that I must do today that inspires me? See, your strength, when you're good at something, it's going to automatically inspire you, automatically cultivate creativity and motivation, right? So it's going to be very easy to jump into that area and dominate in that area. The things that you're not good at, it's going to take away from your motivation. It's going to take away from your inspiration. It's going to strain the mind, waste energy in the brain. You're not going to be as productive. So yes, you should, 100% delegate those. Don't even focus on those unless you're a solopreneur, and that's kind of difficult because then you have to figure out. But that's right back to what we're talking about, Gerald. If you're a solopreneur and you want to grow, and that's when networking rather
absolutely
comes into
because
play, right?
That's where you do find your partnerships, the people that can help you with the things and do the heavy lifting in the areas where you are not as strong at, which is why we have when you're a solopreneur, you guys are going to have to learn about like 1099 subcontractors and things of that nature, where you can hire them to do specific tasks for you that you are not that good at, perhaps. And that you would rather outsource it and pay that little bit of money than spend energy wasting time trying to become good at something that that is just not your cup of tea. Fred always comes in and drops some great information. As he said, Jesus had disciples, sure, but he also had apostles that did all the heavy lifting. So don't use social media to create disciples. Instead, use it to create apostles. And, a lot of people like to call them brand evangelists. So that is great. Exactly what Fred is talking about right there. So that's critical. And Mr. Morgan J. Ingram just came in the building. That's great. Welcome, Jay. Welcome, everybody. Okay, have you guys heard of Shopping Sherlock? Shopping Sherlock. No, I can't say that I have. Hello, Annette. Good evening, Annette. Welcome.
How are you, Annette?
Rev G.
Rev G.
Oh, man. Here we go. It's okay. All right. So I haven't heard of Shopping Sherlock, Bobby.
No,
I
I
can't
haven't
say
heard
I
that
have.
either. Yeah. So yeah, no, I haven't heard of that before.
All right. So what if anybody wants to come in the seat now? We are more than open. I want to know how you guys' network is working for you, or is it working for you, or what challenges may you be having doing networking? Let's talk about that a little bit because again, we're here to have engaging conversation that helps everyone grow. MLM. Anthony is the deacon. Oh Lord, now they got we're gonna have we got
I'm
the
a
church of
deacon
great
now.
o'clock now. All
That
right,
works.
we have my main man, Fred Auburn. Great man.
How you doing, Mr. Fred?
No sound right now, Fred. Did you mute?
Can't hear you, buddy.
Okay, he'll jump out and come right back in.
Fred is a legend.
So MLM, Dwayne said MLM. Wait, he said Shopping Sherlock is a risk-free mobile app which saves time and money on anything on the internet. Okay, that's interesting. Bobby, if and when you get a moment, please jump up and tell us a little more about that. I've never heard of that. But right now we have my man Dwayne. He has jumped on. Look at my man.
What's happening, fellas? I just jumped in real quick. Could you hear me? I'm testing out my new thing I got like you, brother G.
Yeah, I see. I hear you. You sound crystal clear.
I sound good?
Yeah, you sound real good, like you about to break down some Luther Vandross or something, brother.
I had to go get the brother G headphones, Yeah, man. I'm gonna be jumping in and out because I'm here doing some work too. But how you doing, my man? Our creation CNN.
How you doing, brother?
I follow you on Instagram, brother. I need to get one of them hats. I had asked you on there. I seen the hat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me. I got a comment on that, man. Sometimes I don't see those.
Okay,
I got you on that one.
I need that hat, man. Y'all know on my blogs I wear a hat because I don't like to show this here dome. So so yeah, I'm gonna need that, brother. But yeah, man, I'm just jumping in real quick though. But about is your network working for you? And honestly, mine is not.
Okay.
But I think that's due because I didn't spend time building it correctly. I was doing the old school way, the way I was taught, like what you mentioned earlier. What do you do? You know, and I've been around them groups where it's just, what do you do?
Yeah, that's what.
How can I help you? And from there, and I always noticed it turned me off. Like, when I go into these network events and you get that approach, I kind of was just like, I wasn't trained on how to actually do, some real networking. But so in my case, I met a lot of quote unquote business professionals and all, but nothing really, we never really lined up right because of the initial approach. The initial meeting was about them.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. But now that I've been on here on Blab, my network's starting to get a little strong.
Look at now you're dancing with it.
Yeah, get a little strong. Because I'm meeting people that, is actually, we get to, like with me and you, we actually spoke on the phone, but it's a whole different ball game here because you get to really see what people really are about before you even decide if you want to follow them or want them to follow you. You know what I mean? And if it's somebody that I even want in my network based on the conversations and everything we having on here. So this is a definite great networking tool for me.
Oh, absolutely. I would say, this is a phenomenal forum because you get to see who the person is and you get to interact within their energy,
Right.
Like, okay, is this somebody I really want to be part of? Like we were talking about, gauging people, getting a gauge for who they are, how they are. And then you can kind of say, okay, do I want to take this a step further or do I want to observe a little more or maybe not deal with them at all? I mean, just because they're successful in business doesn't mean they're going to be a successful relationship for you.
Exactly. I agree.
So
I'm gonna stick around for a little bit, man. See if somebody want to jump in the seat, but I'm working on something, so I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and do y'all thing.
Okay, cool, brother. Thank you so much, Dwayne, for coming up. That's my man, Dwayne. You guys follow Mr. Exclusive Brand. Great guy. Peace. And right now we have the Bishop, Fred. He's fixed his technical difficulty. The church is now in session. No, he has not. We're still having a bit of a challenge.
Mr. Fred, can't hear you, man.
Nope. Nothing.
Sorry about that.
Oh man. Yes, obviously just a slight technical problems this evening, but it's okay.
I have a tip, Gerald.
Give the tip.
You know what I've been doing lately is, because I do various types of networking. I try to network to find business partners. I try to network to find people to do ventures with. And something I've been doing recently is networking to try to find people to keep me focused, right? You can call them friends, you can call them allies, whatever you want to call them, people that are going to be around me, my lifelines that are going to keep me engaged in what I want to talk about. So bottom line, I have a person that I call Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I just have a 30-minute conversation with them about personal development, relational intelligence, all that stuff that I love to talk about. And it just keeps me in tune to what I'm doing, because obviously there's so much noise and distractions in life. And that's just a person that I've been staying in contact with, and we talk really deeply about my business. So network maybe to find people just to keep you focused and sharpen your attention in your business.
Absolutely. It's vital to have that,
yeah. And hold you accountable.
Slow your scrolling down, going too fast to read backwards. It's okay. I'll slow it down. I just, I wanted to move a little quick. I'm not trying to just have a poster, but kind of keep people's eye attention. Hey, it caught your attention though. That's a good thing. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Ariel, if you do have to towards a certain demographic, do you have to go towards a certain demographic? Is that what you're asking, Ariel? Ariel, if you like, you can jump in the seat. I understand, it's okay. It's a safe place, but if you rather stay there, that's fine too. All right, Bobby, thank you so much for coming in, brother. Thank you. We're definitely going to check out that site, take a look at it. Definitely appreciate the new information is always good. Okay, so do you have to have a certain demographic when networking? When networking, you want to network with people in general to find out who they are, because you never know who they may know. So I would say networking, you want to know who the person is. So I wouldn't say you go after a certain demographic. However, if you are networking, I wouldn't say take a card from necessarily a 65-year-old or 80-year-old man that's like retired and said that he doesn't want to do anything else. I don't know what benefit that would be, but for the most part, just find out who the person is, and
pistol whip your IT guy. Wow. All right.
Don't pistol whip them, Fred. We need you around. So my answer would be no. From my point of view, I don't think it's a certain demographic you network with.
For the most part, I'd have to agree. I believe it's like marketing, right? You need to have an idea of who's going to be impactful to you, who's going to listen to what you have to say and really take in what you have to say, and what area can you contribute. That's important. I don't feel it's very smart to try to network with an organization or a group of people that you can't contribute to, right? I don't know much about real estate, right? But I don't know how much I could contribute to a real estate agent. I'm sure there's a few different ways I could figure it out, but this is a broad example. So you want to kind of make sure that you're talking to a group of people that you can contribute something to, that they can, view as value.
Okay. Oh, Jonathan says he's driving. He would come up. Wait, we had somebody else pop in. Hello. It's Mr. DeSantos, my buddy. How are you, Efrenio? I met him the other night. He's a great guy too. He's actually a martial artist. He does capoeira. He's from Brazil. Great man right there. Excellent.
Awesome.
So that would be my tips, Ariel. I would say have conversations with people, because that's what networking is. So I wouldn't limit my conversations. Now, who I want to do business with and take it further, that's what you limit, but the conversations, no, when you go to a networking event, have a goal in mind, though. Now, that's something that most people don't do. I've heard people say, go and try to meet everybody in the room. No. That's not what you want to do. That is not a good life plan. So
wasting time doing that. What are the top 4 things to do to make your network work for you?
Okay, Anthony, I'll let you go first.
The top 3 or 4 things to do to make your network work for you. So I guess he's asking, what are the few things that I do to make my network work for me?
I guess, or how does your network work for you? Oh, she.
Yeah, I'm
look at that. She said Josie. Remember Josie? Her name's Josie.
Well, I guess I can, and maybe you can rephrase it, but I guess I'll go back to one of the main things I do. I don't know if there's 4. I know one of the main things I do is the value. I'm really big on that. I actually have written down my value system and what I truly believe in. I've written down the most important aspects of my business, most important aspects of myself, my strengths, and whoever I'm networking with, I make sure that they align with my strengths, or align rather with my value system. But I also make sure that they have strengths that I do not possess. If that was something that maybe answered your questions, that's what works for me personally. That's what I have to do for myself. If that answers your question, and see that it did. All right, great. So that's just one tip that I have.
The ways I make them work. One is, obviously I'm not even going to take their card if I see that we kind of don't align on a certain level, but cultivate the relationship. And what I mean by that is, okay, follow up. No, very few people go to networking events, get cards, and actually follow up in a manner that is conducive to them wanting to do business with you. So, you reach out to them. Hey, great to meet you. I mean, we have all these video features now where you can send videos through email. Hey, nice to meet you. Just wanted to say it was a great conversation. Would really like to know more about you. If you have time this week, I'd like to set up maybe a phone call where I could just talk to you, hear a little bit more about exactly who you are, what your business is, and see if I know anybody that maybe can I can refer to you on a different type of level. So I just need to know who you are, type of thing. So follow up, make it warm, greet them kindly, and then have the lunches. Go to lunch. Nothing's wrong with lunch. You have to sit down or have a video chat with them after that. It's in the process of building that relationship, because that's how you develop that trust and understanding of who they are and how that relationship can benefit you or them. Because I go into it looking at how I can help them first, because if you help them, it makes them want to help you. So one key that I guess what she was trying to say as well is, once they're in your network, how do you make them work for you continuously? I think that was another point that she was trying to make. So to answer that question, or to try to give you a tip on that, she's got it. She's following. She's got value alignment. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I could also give a tip on that, but I guess a quick one. Once they're in my network, because there's a way that you have to keep them too, because there are times that you guys may not see eye to eye, whatever the case may be. There are always problems, so I make sure that we have open dialogue. And if there's ever a problem, if they ever don't like the way that I go about something, and vice versa, that we talk about it and we come to an agreement and we go back over our values to make sure that we're congruent. Because values can change, priorities can change. So just making sure that we're staying on track is one key. I just do that today with one of my partners. That's one key that I do. So
cool. Thank you, Josie, for the question. Really, really appreciate it. Okay. Anybody else want to jump in the hot seat and talk about, let's not call it the hot seat. Let's just call it the open seat. Want to have a conversation about, does your network work, and what may be working, what challenges you may be having, and let's see if we can maybe sort through some things and get you guys to increasing your business, because that's ultimately what the goal of this show is about. I don't want to continue to do this just as a talking head to you guys and just be sitting here and we laugh and we joke every week. That's fun. That's great. I really want to benefit you guys. I really want our goal, not just mine. Our goal is to benefit you.
Our goal.
Exactly.
Great
o'clock. That's exactly it.
Hey, Gerald, give them your insight on. I'll pose a question to you. Give them your insight on the importance of your network in your personal life, right? So once you step out of the office, and how that can impact your business and your focus and your attention and stuff like that.
Oh, now your network outside of work, meaning your personal circle.
How that can affect things.
It can affect you greatly, because that is where that is your net. So does your network work? That's important. They are supposed to be there for support. And one thing I will say to you all that is very rarely discussed is I fire my friends too. You don't have to be around me. Look, everybody does not deserve a front row seat in your life, and you cannot take everybody with you everywhere you are trying to go. And that is something that as entrepreneurs, we have to understand, that some people just aren't ready to go to that level that you are going to and where you are. So you cannot take them with you if they are not ready. Don't let them become an anchor. The best thing I can say is don't let somebody get in the paddle boat with you that's going to put their feet up and not row with you when you're going through that ocean. So that
to cut you off, brother.
It's okay. I was just about to say we have the Jackie Bernardi in the house. I am so happy to see her.
Yeah. One thing that I do. And I just, again, a lot of these things have been recent for me. One thing that I do is if I have a friend that asks me to do anything, any decision that we make collectively, I need to make sure that it is congruent to what I'm trying to do with my overall bottom line goal in life. Bottom line. I'm very serious and very focused on that. I mean that with the utmost. It needs to be 100% congruent to where I'm trying to get to. For instance, I'm 24, and I know a lot of people my age like to go to the bars a lot, but if me going to the bar tonight is going to stop me from getting to a meeting the next day or stop my personal development study or the preparation of my business for Saturday, and it's a Friday, I'm not doing it. Bottom line, I don't care who's there. I don't care what friends I haven't seen. Bottom line, that is not towards my bottom line goal. So I think an incredible focus on that area is 100% key. Making sure that the people around you are making decisions that are 100% congruent to what you are trying to accomplish.
Absolutely. Oh, hello, gents. I can't hear you. I don't have my headphones, and I'm at an event. Wow. Well,
so she's
seeing our face, and she's seeing the text. So we're gonna have to give her love through the props, through the sidebar. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Give it up to go up. But so like I was saying, guys, just to piggyback off of firing your friends. That's 100% basically meaning we become who we. Oh, that's 100% key. My mother told me that for years. I had no idea what she was talking about until about 2 years ago. You become exactly who you're around at all times. At all times.
Absolutely. Well, we do have Mr. Morgan. I know he probably has something he want to say. If he would come up. I like to call it the cleansing. Oh yeah, it is like a cleansing. It's literally, really, and this is something for anybody that hasn't done this yet. Here's just a little insight. When you make the decision that you are going to become more and grow more and do more and be more, and you start getting rid of those people that have actually just been passengers in your life, dead weight anchors, and things that we've just held on to because we have a feeling, we care about them and this and that, and they don't care about us truthfully because they don't want to see us shine because they wouldn't try to hold you back. So when you start letting those people go, you feel so much lighter. Oh my gosh. The frustration that it's like it's washing it away. It's like almost like a spiritual type of cleanse. It's a feeling that cannot even be put into words, and I'm great with words. So,
exactly.
Change your environment if you're the smartest person in the room. Absolutely. Ariel is dropping some knowledge over there. I like it, Ariel.
And that goes right back down to networking, right? I have to at all times get around people that know vastly more than I do, right? Me and Gerald knows vastly more than I do. There are other people that know vastly more. I have to get around them. I have to ask questions. I have to continue to grow. I do not want to stay in the same exact place today at 24 that, at 54 and be around the exact same people, have the exact same conversations, have the exact same responses to certain situations. Like that makes zero sense to me. And I really feel bad for some people that do that. So, always cultivate and be around people that are always trying to better you and that are smarter than you. For sure.
Yeah, I second that. Because, like, I was just thinking, like what CNA just said, back when I was your age at 24, I did the same thing. I cut off a lot of friends, a lot of negative energy and everything. And here you go 10 years later, I'm 34. And man, I think back to those years. It's like, bro, my mind, everything started going good for me once I let go of those negative influences in my life or people who just wasn't rolling with me. And then I go back to the hood. I still see them dudes and the people I used to hang with, and it's like it's sad. You know what I mean? They say, "Oh, you changed. You doing good now." I'm like, nah, I'm just doing different.
There you go.
I'm just doing different. So. Yeah, I definitely agree with y'all on that one, man. You got to change. And like what Ariel said, like you don't want to be the smartest person in your circle. You know what I mean? So I spent the last 10 years or so of my life trying to get in circles of people that were smarter than me. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I like it on here. I'm in this circle right now with y'all two smart guys. All right, y'all go ahead and do y'all thing. I'll be back.
All right, brother.
This guy. Oh man, but that's true. If you can't change the people around you, change the people you're around. That's the easiest thing to do. To make a habit of being around new people seems difficult as a thought process. But when you look at overall what it does for your life, it's not that hard of a decision. So,
and Gerald, one thing that I've realized, and this may be a little hard to understand, but you're really coming home. And let me explain. If no matter what company it is, no matter what venture it is, if you truly love what you're doing, if you're truly, if you're cultivating and networking and being around people that are exciting you and motivating you, if that's truly who you are inside, that's who you've always been. You were just being someone else for all these years and being around people that were not positive. So I call, like he said, being different. I call it coming home. I'm finally getting in touch with who I really am. I'm finally, answering my own door and finally being like, all right, I'm happy with who I am. I'm coming back home and I'm really trying to do things better now. So I call it coming home. And I know it's a little bit of an unorthodox way to look at it, but, you've always been this person. You were just lost for a while. That's what
I would say I agree with most of that, but I can't agree totally only on the fact that I disagree with the fact of being true to your purpose. You are right. It is coming home to who you are. Yeah. Now, if it's your purpose, yes, but the person you are, it's constantly evolving because we're constantly growing. So those challenges and those things are there so that you can become more. Because here's something.
We can't get too deep on it, but good.
Yeah, I know. Here's something.
It's cool.
No,
it's cool.
I just got a thought. Just got to drop it. If you make $40,000 a year, correct? I'm just throwing out numbers to people. Let's say you make $40,000 a year, and somebody comes to you or comes to me and says, "Hey, I want you to coach me, help me with my business. I want to make $500,000 a year." Right? Mm-hmm. Drastic jump. Mm-hmm. Who you are and what you have to be to make $40,000 a year is miles away from who you have to become and what you have to be in order to earn $500,000 a year. So in that regard, it's different because you become more. You have to become more because those two can't be congruent.
I believe you are. So
those gray hairs.
let's go back and forth with this for a second, because I believe you're obtaining, because I know exactly what you're talking about. I deal with my clients. I believe the skill sets to make $40,000 and the skill sets to make $500,000 are completely different, right? And the identity of a person that makes $500,000 could very well be the same as the person that makes 40,000. Their true values, like their true purpose, but they're just, again, they're a little lost. They haven't identified the skill sets to make that amount of money. So I think it's more skill sets opposed to being a completely different person.
The reason I would challenge that is because your belief system, because when you're making $40,000 a year, you don't think you can make $500,000 a year. You don't feel like that's even possible. So that's why when people come to coaches and people like that and consultants and think that, hey, just fix me, but I don't even know what's wrong. We have to have a conversation so we can diagnose what it is. Is it inside of you? Is it your work ethic? Is it your belief system? Is it a little bit of both? Is it that you are still hanging on to something that happened to you years and years ago? So we have to identify those things. And you are not the same person after you come through that process. Now, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you become brand new. Am I thinking it is the core person at 24 years? You have an inkling, and at 44, you know you can't. That's what I was about to say. The thought processes that you have as you grow yourself individually, because I believe that earthly age doesn't really matter. Because people have been calling me old since I was 6 years old. You know?
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
I think it varies on the person since everyone handles success differently. I agree with that, Adam. I'm here. I'm listening.
Oh, I thought we cut out. I'm considering saying that you're 100%. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I think that I agree with you. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what I mean about coming home for, as far as, like, for instance, I've always had a talent of talking to people and working through their problems, and I noticed when I did those things, I worked incredibly hard to fix their problem. Like, I did whatever it took. Now, you get me into a math classroom, I'm not going to work incredibly hard to get that problem done because I don't care about that. And I believe that was one of my core values that I was embedded with at birth.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think that's what I mean by coming home. So now I took that simple value, that core value, and I added a few skills, added a few little sugars here and there and some spices, and I created it to be Creation International and to be a consultant.
Right. You created it. Exactly. You became more. You grew.
Yeah, I expanded it.
Exactly.
You win.
That's what I was saying.
That was cool that we did that. No, you're cool. You're right.
Well, hello, Fran. I think Fran is still here. So, so does your network work? This has been a very stirring conversation. If anybody would like to jump in, have any questions, comments, just does your network work? How is it working for you? How are the people around you? I'm glad you're enjoying, brother. He said he's really enjoying this. Absolutely.
Awesome.
I'm glad. Follow us. Come be part of the conversation next week. Even if you don't want to be part of it right this moment, just come join us next week, or Wednesday. Actually, I'm sorry. We have a show Wednesday as well. Exactly. Come join us on Wednesday and jump up, man. We're open to having conversation, because that's what this is about. This is about us all being more. Things change, so you have honed the problem solving skills, and now you apply it to what matters to you now. Boom. I love Josie. Josie is the bomb.com over there.
Yeah.
I'm loving Josie. You have to come back. Josie is the bomb.com. And it will be a pleasure for me in another opportunity. Hey brother, the pleasure is all mine, man. We add value to one another. We all learn from each other. So this is a learning experience for us all. So thank you for being part of the conversation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, where were we?
She's definitely right about that. I'm tapping into, and we all are, who that's experiencing success, tapping into aspects about us that we truly care about.
Absolutely.
Right? I took that small core value and I expanded upon it, and now I'm finding things that I truly care about. I built my environment conducive to that. So you guys are definitely right. I feel like I was right too, but I'm gonna back down and say you're more right than I was. And that's all good though. It's all about growth and learning.
It is. It's all about that. And let me just say this: it's not about right or wrong. It's about right or wrong for what you want. This is no right or wrong. Like my point is right and your point is wrong. It's about how you experience it and how you can utilize whatever information you can take from it. So that's what this is about. We need the Jackie Bernardi sitting in. Adam. Jackie is at an event and she came in just to show love. So the Jackie Bernardi cannot actually sit in with us, and her presence is sorely missed. But we do have the Liberation Sensation that's hiding over in the corner. He's watching football, hoping that he's going to get his winning record up because he's losing badly. So that's the problem with Morgan J. Ingram right now. So
that's all right.
And if he's listening, well, obviously he's not listening because he would have responded to that. So that tells you right now what Morgan J. Ingram is going through. So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, sure. Well, thank you so much. And she complimented us both in the same breath. Thank you so much, Josie.
There we go.
Hey, we're learning from people like you as well, Josie. So I really look forward to you one day coming to jump in. And my brother's getting ready to check out Jay. Jay, man, always great to see you, man. It's been fun. Always a fun discussion. And looks like we may actually end at 1 hour this week. We got like 7 minutes to go. What do you feel, is Jonathan, what do you feel the biggest problem that people face with networking?
This is a very simple one. We said it earlier, trying to get something out of a person without contributing anything in return. That's a big thing. I used to do it all the time. What can you do for me? What can I get from you? Right. And that's really what it comes down to. I think that's a big problem still. And I think a lot of big leaders in the social media world and the business world have talked about it, and not enough people have listened up. So that's a huge problem.
Yeah, I would second it. I mean, that's basically what we both said. The biggest challenge that people have is trying to jump in bed right away. You just meet me, you hand me a business card. Oh, here's what I do. This is how great it is. Man, you have to call me so I can show you this. I don't. And if you don't need it, you can refer me to somebody. Why would I? I mean, seriously, I just met you. Why would I do that? Exactly. Well, hello, Tiffany.
Yeah.
We got Tiffany McMillan in the house. Well, hello, Tiffany. How are you? All right. Well, we got my man, Dwayne, his hop back in. Exclusive brand he's about to drop another bomb.com and jump off. I know what he's doing. He's not even coming in. Gary Vee has a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook.
Right hook.
He's just coming in, right hook, uppercut. I'm out.
Right hook. No jabs. Nah, real quick, fellas. So what do y'all suggest, or what are some tips if let's say I'm at a networking event, and how should I receive, like, without being pitchy or without really going into much of what I do? Like, what should I do at an event so I don't come off trying to just sell somebody first time I meet them?
Okay, you want to go first, Anthony?
Yeah, it was just on the tip of my tongue. I'm sorry about that. Tip of my tongue real quick, just so I can forget about it. Listen, ask them, what do you do? What do you do? Tell me about yourself. Receive that content, listen very clearly, and then figure out, okay, what advice do you have in your brain, right? Can you give to them about their area? It can be anything. How can you contribute to them? It can be the smallest thing, a little bit of advice. Again, you may know someone in that field, no matter what it is. How can I help you? And then in return, they're going to say, okay, well, I appreciate that. Well, tell me more about you, Dwayne. Okay. And then I would say that's when you go into
what you do.
That's just a simple, tactic that I think has.
So you go into it. So you basically provided value to them, without really going into what you do. But then when they ask you what you do, that's when you know.
I would say, and I mean, you know, get Gerald's advice on that, but I would definitely say, because it's worked for me, you know, it's worked with clients, it's worked with trying to, you know, build with people. Talk to me about you first. Enough about me. We'll get to me in a second. I want to know more about you.
Yeah.
Show that you truly care about
and that was basically what we were talking about earlier. Talk to them about something that has nothing to do with what's happening. Mm-hmm. Talk to them like you want to know them. You know, that's my first thing. You know, if you're at a networking event, ask them how they found out about it.
Gosh.
Like, hey, Jonathan, you know, because everybody has the little name tags, you know, and everybody feels like they're in elementary school walking around there. Right. Jonathan, blah, blah, blah. So you walk up to them and you say, hey, Jonathan, how'd you hear about this event? And just have a conversation. Don't make it salesy. Don't go for the what do you do right away. Just talk to them. You know, oh wow, okay, so you heard about it on Facebook. Oh, like I didn't receive that information. Are you part of a special group on there? Blah blah blah.
Right.
Have a conversation.
Right. Okay.
And get to know them, so you'll feel them out, and they'll feel you out, and you'll know whether you want their business card, because you don't want every business card.
Oh yeah.
Never lead in by handing a guy your business card.
Now we have the bishop. Here he is.
Here's you now.
I apologize for my earlier forays. I called up my IT guy, said, how do I sort this out, or I'm going to be at your front door tomorrow morning. He immediately sorted it out. So, sometimes you just got to be nice to people. So, yeah, I mean, you're always selling yourself first. I mean, I hate to say that, but a lot of it is based on your personal interaction. In a lot of cases, either you'll get along with that person right in the first 5 seconds or you won't. Okay, and it will generate more business, because I always say, you know, you got to be a character, but be a character with character. And that's really what you're doing right off the bat. You're making yourself interesting. You're making yourself, you know what? I want to hear this guy talk for 5 or 6 more seconds, depending on the length of this elevator ride. Once you've established that interpersonal connection, and a lot of it is, it's a mile wide and an inch thick, right? You're yes. doing that initial engagement, but you're talking to that person because they're interesting, because they're a prospective client. I mean, anybody can have clients, whether you want to have interesting ones. Unless you got to do this, put food on your plate, then it's a different deal, of course. You just do business with anybody. But once you've established that interpersonal connection, someone says, what do you do? And either that what you do is going to resonate with that person or not, and they're going to want to do more business with you. And sometimes they will do business in a way that you hadn't thought of because of the way they've interacted with you. And that's something I've only recently learned over the last 5 years. I mean, since I retired from the military, I was getting a lot of defense jobs. Why? Because people knew me from defense. And then all of a sudden people say, you're not that obnoxious once I get to know you. Let's talk a little bit more. And the next thing you know, I'm working for the friggin' Canadian wine industry and the Canadian beer industry and all that sort of stuff, because we were talking about issues of strategy that were not militarily oriented. And I think that's the best thing. You are your own best credentials.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. I'm really glad this works now. I'm really sorry for that.
Hey, that's all right. But you're in now, and you sound crystal clear. Always great to have Mr. Fred Aubin on here. He is.
Well, thank you, Reverend. That's very nice of you to say.
Hey, John, I'm going to answer. This question
I was going to say,
man.
I see Anthony has a question over here.
So I'm going to be very honest about this. So do you feel you judge people who you network with based by appearance, or how do you choose? Okay, so I'm going to be honest. There have been times that I have, especially through social media, I've analyzed their social media, looked at the way they presented themselves, and it's turned me off. So I didn't decide to do business with them or even speak to them. I will admit that. I'm not ashamed to do that. And I did that for one reason. It may have not have been right, but I felt like with my values, my core values is you need to present yourself externally as best as possible, as who you are, and especially if you have a business. So if you're coming to me for the opportunity to have business, or if you're a prospective client, you need to be presenting yourself that you want to take this in this area seriously. And if I see on your page that is something that's not productive or something that's not positive based off of the way that I perceive life, then I may not choose to talk to you. Now, some people may say that's rude, but that's kind of the way that I handle things at times. I will be very honest with you guys. I honestly will. I'm no shame in that.
And you should be, because honestly, in this day and age, people use social media to vet you. You know, they will check your Facebook pages. They will check your Instagram. They will check your LinkedIn profile to see how professional you are in what you do. If you're a professional, you should not be posting pictures of you out grabbing someone's behind. It's just being honest.
As a very minimum, I would think that's where you sort of not where you draw the line. That's where you start the line.
Exactly. So people that are not taking their own brand seriously will never take your brand seriously, and that's how I feel about that. So
I was a little afraid, to be honest, about that, but that's really what it's about.
No need to be afraid, man. Look, the truth is the truth, and people are either going to love you for who you are, or they're not going to like you for who you are.
And if they don't lose any sleep over it.
Exactly.
Right.
One of my favorite things I say: you either love to hate me or you hate to love me. But either way, you're going to feel very strong about it. You're never going to see somebody, oh, Gerald, he's okay. Nah, they're even going to be like, oh, Gerald, I like that guy. Or they're going to be like, man, that dude, he always running his mouth.
Right.
So
that's good, CNA, because you spent all this time cleansing out that energy that you don't want around you. And then if you go looking on somebody's social and you recognize that energy that you spent years getting away from, then it's like, you don't want to deal with it. You know, so I respect that. Ain't no shame in that, brother.
That's exactly, because I potential clients, I lost out on a lot of money. I will be very honest, by just looking at their social media accounts. And then I'm from Baltimore, so I looked at it. I could clearly tell, there's some things that they're doing that I used to do. Right. So I probably don't want to have that environment again.
What part of Baltimore? You're absolutely correct. You don't want to be working at amateur hour when you get into the consulting business. You want to get into somebody who's ready to take you and go straight for the vision and mission here. I mean, there's no shortage of clients out there. Fortunately, I'm in the that sort of time and space of my life where I don't have to do this to put food on my table. So my team and we actually have the luxury of saying whether we're going to take somebody on as a client or not. It's one of the benefits, getting onto those years in your 60s. If I was in my 20s, I don't know how old you are, sir, but I suggest you're probably a little younger than I. In fact, I think I got T-shirts older than you. No offense. No, I'm not saying they fit anymore. Okay, so when you're having to do this, if you're younger, you're putting food on the table, you're paying the mortgage and stuff like that. Hell, if I was in that kind of business when I was in the 20s, I probably would have had to take on some clients whether I liked them or not. Those guys working for the Deloitte per diems and stuff like that, you can tell that they're hungry. They'll say, yeah, we can do anything you want for you. We don't care if you kill baby seals or employ Honduran children or you employ Honduran children to kill baby seals. It does not matter. We will take you on as a client. So, it really, I think a lot of it depends on, one of you was mentioning values before. And I think that's an incredibly important thing. Put your values on your mantelpiece. Listen, this is who we are. More importantly, this is who we're not. Okay. And if you're going to be, applauded for your values, great. And if you're going to be hung because of them, then be hung because of your values.
Yes.
It's that whole, Hamlet Acts 3 Scene 6, to thine own self be true, right?
Yes.
So I know somebody using the word solopreneur, and I have to use a Kevin Leary quote here. The guy from Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah,
I like him because he's a dick and he's Canadian, so and he likes hockey. But he says there's no such thing as because someone came on the show and says I'm a solopreneur, and he said there's no such thing because if there was, you wouldn't be here on Shark Tank looking for money. So there's really no such thing as a socialpreneur unless you're Gary Dahl, that's the guy that invented the pet rock. So essentially he had his own endless supply and he boxed them himself and he mailed them out. You essentially will always have to have a team, whether you're hiring people, whether you're even your clients are technically part of your, I like to call them like part of our client team, right? You know, if you're in the leadership business, the strategy business, guess what? Your clients are not just your clients. They end up becoming a de facto team for you.
Yes, absolutely.
So, you know, you're never doing stuff solo. I mean, I like to say you do that, you're solo, even if you were, I don't know, when we were talking to that music guy the other night there, Rev.
Oh my gosh, Ron May. Yes.
Okay. He says, well, I like to think I was a team of one, but you know what? Once you start taking on artists, it's, you know, even a great artist is not a team of one. There's the arrangers, there's the marketers, there's the music label, blah 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 blah. The guys who buy all the champagne in the clubs, whatever. There's no such thing as a team of one, unless you're a street performer. I guess if you were a street performer, you could be a team of one. Leadership street performing. I wonder if you could make money of that.
But then again,
I don't know if you could. I was going to say, but that reminds me, since you're quoting Shakespeare, it takes me to the Romeo and Juliet thing. You know, like when people are desperate and taking on any and everybody. When Romeo went to the merchant to get the poison to kill himself, you know, and the merchant said, "My conscience does not say give this to you," and he said, "I pay your poverty, not your conscience." He said, so at some
the ultimate exercise in pragmatism, yes,
absolutely. So at some point, which we have talked about plenty of times, Fred, you hire your clients. Your clients,
yes.
you know, it's a partnership. You know, when we are in the business that we're in, especially, or any business, technically, it's a partnership. They need something that you can provide, and you're providing that service at them for a certain price so that you all can benefit. So we're going to be together for this duration of time. And if I don't like the person or individual that you are or how you are, let's just not do this, because it's not going to be conducive to a positive relationship for either one of us. And
hey guys, just wanted to say, oh, sorry, brother. I appreciate all of you guys. I'm heading out now. I just want to say I appreciate all of you guys. Gerald, give me a call once y'all wrapped up, and it was a great show, guys.
All right, cool.
Great seeing you, man.
Appreciate everything.
I have another one of those Oban's axioms, which is all about what you're talking about, and it's number 105. Okay, regardless of the kind of business that you're in, be your client's best friend. Be his opposition's or his competitor's biggest nightmare.
There you go.
So it doesn't mean you always have to be a warm, fuzzy guy.
No, you don't.
Thankfully for me. Sometimes you're hired to be the bad guy. So yeah, I mean, it's you do have this bipolar relationship. You have not just one with your clients, because if you're a compliant client as in any sort of competitive business, you are now, whether you like it or not, you are interacting with his competitors, yes, either passively or sometimes the fun way, directly. So yeah, I mean, there's always that. You can't be a one size fits all. And Dwayne, I'm with, you know, the Rev on this one. Be absolutely true to your values. Be absolutely true to yourself, and you sell that first. Either someone loves you or someone is reasonably ambivalent about you, and if they love you, continue the conversation. Life's too short.
Yeah. And just to drive home the point that Fred and I are making, never be the middle of the road guy. You don't want to be the gray area person, because those people are stuck in purgatory, in business purgatory. Now I sound like Mr. Wonderful myself, but that's literally business hell. When people can't decide whether they like you or they don't like you. If you're okay, they're never going to spend money with you if you're okay. You know what? People will even spend money with people that they hate because they respect what they do.
Thank God.
Thank God for both of us, Fred. So, you know, if you're a middle of the road guy, you're broke. You're broke. I can guarantee you that. People don't spend money with people that are okay.
I agree.
Okay. Did anybody else want to jump in and have something to say before we go off record? You know, we usually have an after party, and the after party gets crazy. So, just
well, actually, I'll open up a seat here for you, Rev.
Okay.
I look forward to tomorrow night when we start talking about leadership's dirty words.
Oh, I was about to say yes. Please let everybody know.
We're going to have fun on that one. Matter of fact, you would have loved the Lead with Giants chat tonight because there was a lot of dirty words in there, and it had all to do with entrepreneur.
Oh my gosh!
What a most abused term I've ever heard. Like, entrepreneurial leadership is different than some other kind of leadership. Historically, entrepreneur just means risk taker. This comes from Georges Danton when he was storming the Bastille. You know, it's nous sommes des entrepreneurs. L'audace, l'audace, toujours l'audace. It means, hey, we're going to take a risk, and you don't have to be a solopreneur, which is not a word, by the way, to do that. So yeah, we're gonna have fun tomorrow night. So, do we have an after party? Should I have some beer chilling or something for the after party?
Let's get some after party drinks. You know, we're gonna have champagne for everybody, you know, that comes to the after party. But tomorrow evening we're going to be talking about leadership's dirty words.
And there's a lot of them.
There are a lot of
them.
So this is going to be great. This is Fred and I, leadership's dirty words tomorrow at 8:00,
and it'll be fun. We'll have people laughing.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you know, hopefully after the first 5 minutes, we're not hearing crickets, right? So, yeah.
I don't think with you and I together that it's possible to hear crickets. I think we'll chase the crickets out of the room.
if not, Rev, we'll just have you quote poetry to any of the women who might happen to be looking at it. That'll get like 10 more people looking at it. Maybe we can start having a serious conversation. If any of the ladies are out there, don't get the Rev doing poetry, man, I'll tell you. I had to turn my speakers off so my wife wouldn't hear it. So, anyway, guys, take care and have a good evening, and thank you for letting me sort up my video and audio here.
Hey, thank you so much, Fred. Please put the link over there for tomorrow night. People are already asking about it. I will. I don't have it, but I can go find it if you don't have it.
Yeah, I'll matter of fact, I'll come in and I'll come back in and throw it up because you know what. Tonight's the first night of hockey, right? So I have to get to the TV set. Senators are playing Toronto, and I'd love to watch Toronto lose. It's a blood sport. I'll put the link on there, and I'll bid you adieu, and open a seat for somebody here. Okay.
All right. Always great to see you, Fred.
Take care, pal.
Thanks.
All the best, Fred. All the best, Dwayne. Have a good one, buddy.
All right. Sir. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so. Mr. Morgan, you've been hiding in the bullpen all night over there watching football. It's not going to help your score. And I'm still on the record, but I'm getting ready to cut this record off. And then you guys, if you want to come up off the record, that's fine. So I guess if no one else has anything else to say, we will. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes.
I had to come off from the sidelines. I just wanted to pop in real quick.
What's happening, bro?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
All right. Awesome. Nice to meet you, my man.
Nice to meet you as well. Wow, this is a great subject. Is your network work? I think you got to really think about that because your network is it's just not only your business connection. It's also who you're surrounding yourself with. What's your mastermind group look like, and what do you want to get involved in? And so for myself, you know, my mastermind group has to be on point. You know, if someone's off point, they're not in it anymore. And it's a one-strike thing. And that's very, very critical to me because everyone has to be on the same page. Everyone has to understand what is going on. And so that is the biggest thing, is understanding your network and how it works, and understanding that you have to be able to bring the message every single time to your network. And also understanding that there's people that, you know, like you, but then there's people that trust you, and I'm always trying to get to the trust factor. So when I come in their email, you know, when I send them a text, when I send them a call, like we can make something happen, and the thing, they can refer me to go do something instead of, oh great, it's so and so again. So I think that's the biggest thing, is understanding to get in the trust factor in your network so that you can implement the right strategies and get to where you need to go.
Absolutely, that's key. People do business with people that they I'm not saying that cliche. I'm sorry, guys. It won't come out of Gerald's mouth. But I can't do it. Cliches kill me, man, because they're so useless, and people spout them and don't understand what they're saying. It drives me crazy. There's so many cliches. Like, what? Okay, let me go off the record. I thank you guys, everybody, for coming to Great O'Clock. We will see you all again on Wednesday night when we will be talking about getting your heart set over your mindset, which is going to be a very, very fun topic. So look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday at Great O'Clock.